are getting from it. We got Green Nest, excuse me. They say, are DWP AUM advisor fees a tax write-off for the holding company? Yes, they are. They sure are. If not, for most people, at least 2.5 to 3% yield returns would be required to break even after taxes. Yield product equals placeholder. Yeah, you're not wrong, and that's why we've been pushing so hard on that product. We want a monthly distribution on some type of yield that's, there's nothing that's risk-free or riskless, and there are no guarantees, but the way that we're structuring this with the counterparty we're working on, pretty much like as close as you could possibly get to that. I'm looking at, somewhere between 3 and 4% with current interest rates from the Fed. If those come down, then that yield will come down, but that's where we should be able to pay people out that much on an annual basis. That'll be amortized monthly, so looking at maybe 30 basis points a month on the return, and that's more than enough to cover the 16 or 17 basis points we charge per month if you're less than 5 million. Post price appreciation, I think a lot of people's AUM fees are going to come way down as a percentage. Over 5 million, we drop it to half a percent, so 50 basis points. And over 10 million with us, we drop it to 40 basis points, or 40% of 1% per year is all we charge. And again, that's mainly to cover our costs. We have overhead, we have compliance, we have all the red tape and all the stuff that we have to deal with, along with our partners, Anchorage. They take their fee out of our fee. It's not an additional fee. And we try to align our interest, right? The difference between us and many of the other counterparties out there that do something similar on the institutional custody side is, we want you to hold the asset. We believe that the long-term value of the asset will be greater than what it is today, and it would be in your interest to retain that asset versus selling it. So when you sell or buy through Digital Wealth Partners, it's only 20 basis points. That's all they charge with no spread. So it's not like you go to Kraken or Uphold or Coinbase or one of these where they've got a spread and a fee. You can do, I think Coinbase One doesn't charge you a fee unless it's over a certain amount, but you have to pay that $100 a month, and then there's still a spread. They sell it to you lower than the actual price, and they buy it. When you sell it to them, they buy it back at higher than the actual price, so they pay less. It's around still 1 to 2% of whatever the actual price is on those trades. If you are using exchange to do that versus us, we are either 5 or 10 times cheaper on the trading component. But